Hello, and welcome to The Porch with Alicia Barlow. Hi, I'm Alicia Barlow, author of The Porch, a place for enjoyment, conversation with people, reflection, and encouragement.
Hello, everyone. It's Alicia from The Porch. Today is January 4th, 2024. Happy New Year. I do not have a guest today, not necessarily by choice, but that happens sometimes. As it does, I contemplated whether or not I would come in and do a podcast this morning, but I have chosen to do so. I hope to be able to maybe encourage someone still and maybe encourage my own self as well. I want to just think about the porch as we go into this new year and why I have chosen to do this and how it has been a challenge to me and how I accept the challenge and I am grateful for the opportunity to come in and speak to people and to listen to people and have them join me on the porch and have you all join me on the porch as listeners. I find myself to be a pretty good listener. I try to be a good listener. I try to actively listen. And I think listening is important. So many times in society, we have learned not to listen. We say that we're listening, but I often wonder, are we listening or are we just quiet? And there's a difference. When we're quiet, people can say anything. We're not really paying attention to what they're saying, and they're just talking, and we're just quiet. So I challenge some today to be more active in their listening. But for me also, speaking. Remember, conversations are two-way. Like I said, I think that I am a pretty good listener, but not necessarily the best speaker or talker. I can listen to you pretty much all day, but I challenge myself to be more of a talker, to speak when speaking is necessary. And I challenge other people to do the same as we go into this new year. And I thought about that as I found that I wasn't going to have a guest today, that I would be here speaking. I would be here talking to you alone. What would I say? As I talk about the porch and I encourage people to utilize the porch for conversations, to utilize it to take care of themselves by taking time out for themselves, whether it's pray or just take time out for themselves in thought. But as I think about even in prayer, that's two-way. Yes, God wants us to hear his voice, but he wants us to talk to him too. I have a son, and people that have children, how does it make you feel when your child, no matter their age, comes and they just actually talk to you? They have a conversation with you. They tell you their secrets. They tell you what's going on in their lives, and they are actually talking to you. For me, when my son talks to me, I feel good. I love it. I enjoy the fact that he is able to open up to me and say what is on his mind, and I encourage it. And I think that God wants us to be that with him. He encourages us and wants us to talk to him. Just as a parent here on earth, how we feel the joy that it brings when our children talk to us, I think it brings him joy as well when we open up and actually talk to him. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to be more of a spoken communicator as well as a good listener in all that we do. And I say that we because I am, again, speaking to myself to encourage myself to do the same throughout this year. Talk to your family and listen to your family as well. As we go into this new year, I'll be a little personal. The year probably has not started in the best way for me and my family. We've had some losses. As recent as yesterday, I've lost my aunt, which is probably, one of the reasons why I didn't really reach out to have someone to come in and speak with me today. I knew that there were things going on and I didn't know how I was going to react. And I wanted to maybe not talk to anybody, but I want to talk to you. And that's what I'm doing. And sometimes we just have to talk out loud, whether it's to ourselves, and that's not to say that we are losing our minds when we do that. But sometimes, again, we need to hear for ourselves what's going on within us. And I think that that's okay. So reach out to family, reach out to friends, be more vocal, speak what's on your mind. As we go into a more political year, and this is not a political podcast, I try not to be political on this platform. But I do want to say that sometimes instead of being quiet, sometimes we need to speak. So when speaking is necessary, I encourage you to speak. When listening is necessary, listen. And sometimes I will even say that sometimes just being quiet is necessary. So sometimes we just have to be quiet, and that's okay. Again, I really am not a big talker. This is a challenge for me. I want to thank Possibilities. I want to thank Santiago, who is here in the studio. He is our podcast producer. He is great. I love him. He is so patient with me. And so he encouraged me to do what I can. And so I am doing that. And I thank you, Santiago. I thank all the staff here at Possibilities for all of their encouragement that they provide to all the podcasters here on this platform, and to Mr. Jackson, who is the president here of Possibilities Incorporated. God listens to us. He wants to listen to us. I encourage you to talk to him throughout this year, even more so than you did maybe in the previous year. Talk to family and friends more this year, even more than you did during the previous year. Let's encourage each other more this year, more than we did in the previous year. Something that I have on my mirror in my bathroom at home that I look at frequently, I'm going to share it with you. And it says something to the effect that when you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. I love that. I want to tell you Happy New Year. And if your New Year hasn't started off being happy, I want to wish you peace within this new year. And if you can find peace, I wish you joy, probably more so than happiness. I wish you peace and a joyous new year. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and joining me on the porch. Remember to take time to reflect, share memories, and engage with others on your porch. And I'll meet you here next time on The Porch, your podcast for community conversations. Brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.